stage. You ought to hear what I'm saying. Success is a plan that takes years in the making. When nobody did, I believed. Had to let go of things I did not need. Cut off some friends in the process. What could I say? I could no longer carry the dead weight. Get off your ass, there's lots you can do. You wanna learn something and watch how I move, but they don't wanna do shit. They wanna be spoon-fed like a little baby. That shit is crazy, boy. Change up your mindset. I get 3 days worth of work done in just one. 727 mindset is the hustle for us. You get it?
Hey, I'm Alex Corona.
And I'm Jamie Burke.
And this is the 727 podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about...
What does an A player look like? And what do they do? How do they act?
What is an A player? So that's, step one to even know what is an A player. An A player is somebody you want on your team, someone you want around you, somebody that you want to aspire to be. You don't want to have a job and just do your bare minimum or just go in there for the worst thing ever, and it's just to get a check. I hear that all the time. I hear people say, well, I just need a check. I just need to get paid. Find something that you like how to do. That way you do your best. I read something yesterday on my man John Hiley's page that hit home so hard, and he said that we're doing God's work. So if you tell yourself that I'm doing this work for God, I got to do my very best. No matter what it is that I'm doing, I want to do my best. And it hit home, hit my heart, hit my body, the whole core. It's very important that you think that way. Set the standard, do it for him, do it for you, and watch the magic happen. Hard work can only go unnoticed for so long.
Well, when you're looking for a real estate agent to work with, when you're looking for an attorney, when you're looking for people to hire, when you're looking for people to be on your team, you want to have people that are going to be A players. You don't want some lazy person that's not going to answer your phone calls or do the work. So you have to think, what does this person look like? So when we look for team members, we have to look for somebody who's going to do the things that are going to be how our culture is, what our mission is, what are we doing, what is it that the goals that we have, and who do we need to have on our team that are going to deliver those to our clients.
And we write it down. What do I want an A player to look like? What do I want them to act like, show up like, and write these things down. So that way when you have that person show up in your life, you already know. And once you write it down, it's like God brings them to you, because now you know what you want, you got clarity, and these people start showing up. It's very important to know exactly what you're looking for. People that are willing to help, people that are organized, they got problem solving skills. Things I look for, they know how to negotiate, they're a good listener. It's very important that you're sharp as a tack, very humble, empathetic, ready to sacrifice at any moment for the person that you're trying to be, ready to go.
How many times have we heard, even recently, people say, I thought to myself, who would be my ideal partner, my ideal girlfriend, my ideal boyfriend? And they actually write down what they're looking for, and then boom, it's like they appear. It's crazy. Once you get clarity of what you're looking for, it's like the universe brings it to you.
Manifestation, it couldn't be more real. I tell Jamie and my team all the time, it's like magic. You just make it appear right in front of you. It's like poof. But you got to go out there and go get it. You can't just be sitting on the couch or a chair and looking up at the sky expecting for this to fall in your lap. It's not going to happen. You have to go and get it. You got to write these things down. You got to make it real. And you have to show up every day doing your best and putting in God's work.
Things do not just fall in my lap, that is for sure. So what does the A player look like, Alex? What are some qualities A player have?
So A player is somebody that does what they say they're going to do to me.
When they're going to do it. And if they don't do it when, they at least communicate. So communication, huge. I am a firm believer that communication and organization are the two main things that keep a business, keep really anything rolling in life itself. So they have to at least communicate. Yes, I didn't do this when I said I was going to do it, but I'm going to do it then. So hold up to your word. Keep your word.
They got to be really coachable. They got to be accepting criticism. They got to be open to somebody letting them know when something is not right or they're not doing something right. So that way they can better their situation, they can better themselves and do their job at the best potential that they can do.
I'm a huge problem solver. That's, I think, what my main contribution to our business is, that when there's a problem, they come to me. So they got to have problem solving skills. You need to know not everything in sunshine and rainbows. I know I've talked about this before. So when a hiccup becomes, what are you going to do to figure it out? Can't turn back time. We're not magicians. How are you going to solve the next problem? So you have to have really good, or at least an idea of how to get started in problem solving.
One big thing with me is our core values. You got to live and die by these things. So even if you're not a business and you don't have core values for your business, that's okay. You can have core values just for yourself, people that come into your life. It's very important who you hang around with, who you spend your time with, because you will become that person. Or those people will bring you down and hold you back. So it's very important to live those core values, write down what is important to you, and live and die by that. Only allow people to come into your circle that can pass the test.
For crying out loud, be a good listener. Everyone in the world wants to be heard. They all want to be listened to. Well, guess what? If you want to be heard, you got to be a good listener as well. So I feel like 80% of sales is actually listening, not selling.
Another thing that is really important to me with anybody on our sales team, they have to be empathetic. They have to feel what is the client going through. So
you gotta know that the other person gives a shit.
Yes, definitely. So, and I give a shit. I want to make sure that I'm here to listen to my clients' problems, figure out their problems. That's why we're getting paid the big bucks. They pay us to make their problems go away. So I'm very empathetic to their issues, and I'm very confident that I'm going to help them. And that's another trait that I'm looking for in an A player, that they're very confident that they could get the job done. No matter what they have to do, no matter what mountain they got to climb, no matter what research they got to put in, no matter what has to happen, they're going to make it happen.
I think confidence is something that gets displayed very clearly in a simple conversation. It's all about how you sound when you answer the question. So there's a difference by saying that, yes, this is the way something is, or that is how it is. So it's how you sound. Do you sound confident? It's not just feeling confident, it's actually portraying yourself as being confident to the other person as well. They want to know if, with us, we sell real estate, we sell houses. So whoever's coming to us, they want to know that we know what's going on, we know what's happening. So we need to make sure that they understand that we're confident about what we're saying. And if we don't know the answer, we're confidently telling them, you know what, I'm not sure, but I'll find out for you.
You got to have leadership skills. You're leading people to the promised land. And if you don't have leadership skills, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for you to delegate. It's going to be hard for you to have somebody in front of you believe that you can really help them out. You have to be a leader. And if you're not, you got to work on it. That's part of being an A player. I've used the analogy before with my team, Tom Brady, he's the GOAT. This guy has more championships than anyone. And you think he could have done it on his own? Absolutely not. He had A players all around him. He had a guy that could catch. He had a guy that could run. He had a guy he could hand it off to. He had blockers. He had all A players on his team. That's how you build a championship team. That's how you win. A lot easier.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were done. Common sense. I love it. Common sense is sometimes not so common, but common sense is just going back to the basics. Like, what makes sense? What makes sense? Is this person saying something that I believe that's truly going to help me? Or is there a situation that we're in that we could say, well, what's the common sense part of it? I had a conversation yesterday with a client and an attorney, and I don't know anything about being an attorney, and I don't know anything about the issue that they were talking about, but the common sense that I do have, that I explained to them when they were sitting there telling me yesterday that this isn't going to happen and this isn't enough time. Well, guess what? I got an email about 5 minutes before we recorded this that said the application's been filed and the fees have been paid. So I hate to say I told you so, but that was just the common sense part of it. I didn't need to know how to be a lawyer, but I know how things work. I know what needs to be done to move the needle. Common sense.
And she's very confident.
I was not afraid to tell that attorney that what I thought. He didn't really like it. He got a little frazzled, but I'm very pleasant about it. I'm not mean. My tonality is always super nice and was laughing.
And another trait, she's positive.
I'm positive while I'm telling you the way it should be.
She's giving them positive thoughts while she's talking shit. So that's
positively shit talking.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it.
Yeah. So another A player definitely stays organized, uses the CRM to make sure. If you guys don't know what a CRM is, it's a
database that you keep your clients' information, basic information on how to contact them.
Yes. So
email, phone number, address,
birth date, anniversary, everything you've ever talked about. So that way it keeps everything organized. You know where everything is, and most important, you know how to get a hold of your clients. So it's really important that you do things like that. It's important that you do videos like this and you're out on social media and you have a social media presence and you're not afraid to get behind the camera or in front of the camera. Post, not worried about what other people think, because these people are not putting food in your mouth, money in your pocket. So it doesn't really matter. And like I tell my team, if they're gonna fuck with you, they're gonna fuck with you. If not, they weren't gonna fuck with you anyway. So it's okay. Bye.
A players willing to sacrifice. They have to be willing to sacrifice and actually put yourself in other people's shoes. Sometimes it's not all about you. Sometimes you got to see where they're coming from. It's a great tactic that I use in negotiations. One things I love the most is to put your buyer in your seller's shoes and put your seller in your buyer's shoes. Because even if they don't like what's happening, at that point, it's going to be like this light of understanding. They're going to understand why what's happening is happening. Not everybody's trying to be malicious and difficult. Sometimes what works for one person may not work for another, but if you put them in the shoes of the other person, they're gonna think to themselves, wow, if I was selling this place, I get why they feel that way, or vice versa. If I was buying this place, now I get why they feel that way. So I feel like, putting them in the other people's shoes makes a huge amount of impact.
Always got to be willing to help. Mm-hmm. You got to help people, and especially people that are coming up. You got to give back. You got to pay it forward and make sure that people around you are growing and learning the ability to give direction, that you can give them direction on how to get to where you're at and lay it all down for them, so that way they can too be successful, because they're part of your team. You want them and everyone on your team to become an A player.
Be humble. No one likes anyone that's like super pompous and like just all over the place. You have to be humble. Sometimes that's actually crippling to me because I'm too humble. I'm not enough saying like, I know I'm good at this, that, or the other. At any rate, be humble. I think it'll definitely score you brownie points.
That's like huge.
Yeah.
I had a few people join the team that come in like a bucket Bronco, and they're no longer here anymore. So it's easy to start making a bunch of money and start thinking that you're the man and that you're above everything, and nothing really is being, directed towards you, that it's for everybody else. Everyone else needs a training. Everyone else needs to show up. You can just do whatever you want. And that's definitely not the case. You got to be able to fill in every gap and show the fuck up. It's so important. You got to be there. You got to be ready. You got to be dressed. You have to be ready for anything that comes your way. I get told all the time about, I show up in my suit and they're like, oh wow, this guy like dressed in his Sunday best. And it's not my Sunday best, it's my work uniform. This is what I show up to for work. It's one less battle that I have to battle anyone. I have tattoos and people get scared from things like that. Even though it's 2024, they still think it's, whatever they think. It's very quick for them to judge you. So I just cover up, I show up, and again, it's just my work uniform. These things aren't expensive, they're from Express, and it just makes it that much easier. When I'm out there on the street, like I tell my clients, representing you, I'm doing my best. I'm not out there in, whatever, in sweatpants and trying to close a $1 million deal for you.
So don't just look for the A players, be an A player yourself and go get that shit.
Lead by example. That's the most important. If you are trying to attract people like A players onto your team, become one. Show them what it's like, and do it with a smile, because it's amazing. I feel great at the end of the day because I know that every single thing I did my very best, and that's all I can do. So sometimes I do a little less than the other person, but as long as I'm doing my best, that's all that matters. So if you guys are looking to put a great team together, make sure that you slow down so you can speed up. Write these things down, write down what you're looking for, explain it to your current team so that way they could step up. If you guys need anything, feel free to jump in our DMs. I get messages from you guys constantly all week, thanking us for one thing or another, asking questions. If I give you my phone number to call me, do yourself a favor and call that number. I guarantee I will change your life. Give me 5 minutes and you will be amazed.
And he's still a dinosaur. He does not like to text. So
don't fucking text me. Don't email me. You're getting my DM. One of my team members will let me know. But if you can call me, that's the best way to get a hold of me. Again, I'm Alex Corona.
I'm Jamie Burks.
We love you. We want to see you win. Get on top of this shit. If you guys got any questions, you know what to do.
Yeah. I'ma need you all to hear what I'm saying. Success is a plan that takes years in the making. When nobody did, I believe. Had to let go of things I did not need. Cut off some friends in the process. What could I say? I could no longer carry the dead weight. Get off